Welcome to DJNTV and Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. Now introducing the one and only Ben Stowe.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yep, we're going to go live.
Yes, you.
Hey, good evening and welcome to Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe, because tonight is not only Ben, which Ben is a visual treat all the time, but tonight we have joining us the one and only Kat. Good evening, Kat. Good evening, Ben.
Hi, guys.
Next week, we won't be having a show because you guys are going to be busy in Chicago.
I say, I don't know about this going to be busy thing. I've been busy, but yes, we'll be busy somewhere else.
No. I've seen you're like camping and cooking eggs over a fire and debating about if you should be, sleeping on this rock or that rock.
That was 2 days.
True.
That was only 2 days.
That's 2 more days than in the past. You've been.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, the past, I paid for it because the last 4 days I was doing sound and it was sort of a hybrid event, live music, and then kind of conference meeting-y stuff. 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. I'm like, what have I got myself into?
Wow, when you were 20, that was great. When you're,
I know there's a lot of young people in the crew. They didn't see the problem. They're like, yeah, you want to go out after tonight? I'm like, no, I do not.
I'm over 35. I'm not going to be able to do that.
No.
So,
anyway,
so tonight's show is going to be a little bit shorter for those of you who are getting ready to go to Marquee next week. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the different things that NLFX are going to have at Marquee. For those of you who are looking to maybe get some of that gear and get ready for the upcoming busy season, which, if your schedule is like my schedule, is filling up really, really quickly for the late summer and fall.
Busy. John, I tell you what, I think that if you look back at some of the shows we did during the pandemic, I think they're going to have aged really well.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of things we talked about have come to fruition. And I'm not saying this because I want to pat myself on the back for being right. There are some things I wish I was wrong about. We've talked about that. Certainly the back order situation and the product shortage. But boy, are people busy. Holy moly. I'm busy. Gosh almighty, shows are back with a vengeance. And what a great thing to see how badly people want that. To see how badly people wanted to get back to having, events and dances and live things. And so, yeah, if you're not busy yet, either you're terrible or buckle up because you're going to get really busy. No, I'm sure you're not terrible. I'm just joking. But I think that we're in for a very busy summer.
And for some of you watching have already been there and you've been busy all along. Some of us are starting to get to that point. And there's still some of our friends out there who haven't gotten their area for whatever reason, hasn't quite gotten there yet. So wherever you're at on that whole pendulum, what have you, you're going to be having an experience, and eventually you will get there. That's
what's a little bit concerning to me is that we already have a product shortage, and some areas, there's some regions in the country that just aren't busy yet, and they're fairly major ones. And I think, oh my gosh, what happens when these spin up? Like John said, if you're not busy yet, buckle up because you will be.
Let's jump into. We don't want to make this one too terribly long. Kat, you've got some things that you guys are going to be presenting or showing next week at Marquee. Now, are there any of these deals or any of the gear that you guys are going to have that they, if somebody really said, like, I can't make Marquee, but I want to get it, can they do something to get some of these prices?
Yeah, we've got some show specials, but we also have some even deeper specials for people who are going to be there if they want to take it home with them. So, as always, you can give us a call back at the office, say, hey, I'm not there, but can I get this that is there? Oh, definitely yes.
Excellent. So let's talk about a couple of the products or a couple of the companies you guys are going to be representing at the show.
Well, we've got a very strong partnership with Electro Voice there at the show, so we're going to have some great demo gear. The Evolve series, which is on special through the end of the month. So great show special on those. For the DJs who want that extra bass, we've got some ETX 18 SPs and some 35 Ps, right?
Yep.
I always switch around. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day for all of us. It's, you know what? I forgive you, Kat. So,
but we've got great specials on all of your favorite EV lines. We've got our NLFX line we'll have cables, we'll have moats, we will have tape, our Velcro straps. You name it, you want it, we'll get it for you.
Excellent. So let's dive into the Eevee just a little bit. You mentioned the Evolve family. Now, Ben, for those people who've been living under a rock and have not watched any of our past shows where we've talked about any of the Evolves, kind of run through.
I never watched any of our shows. What made you start tonight? I'm just wondering. But
it was because there's a third person who's much more talented than us.
Never mind. I forgot. Cat's in the show. It all makes sense now.
Yeah. Evolve.
I mean, I don't really blame you, but. Anyway, John, what were you saying?
Evolve line. Tell us about the different Evolve speakers and a little bit about suggested applications.
Sorry, I was just so distracted by Cat's radiant beauty. So the Evolve is now a family of 3 column array loudspeakers. And I guess we'll start in the middle. It's just like Goldilocks, right? The middle there. The Evolve 50 is the one that started it all. And that's by far the most popular, very widely sold and used column array. And it pretty good for events, maybe 150, 200 people, wedding dances, that sort of thing. Really good for that sort of thing. Ultra compact, great sounding, really good linear coverage. It then now has 2 siblings. That would be the Evolve 30M, which is slightly smaller, but also adds an onboard digital mixer, and then the Evolve 50M, which is identical in form and shape to the 50, but adds a really well-featured digital mixer with app control on the back of that.
And the 50M and the 30M, their mixers are different. It wasn't like they just took the mixer from the 30M and put it in 50M.
Right. Yeah, there's some nuanced differences, and then some fairly major differences. The data link between the 250Ms being maybe one of the most substantial, where now you can, for all intents and purposes, double your input count by linking the 2 speakers together with the Cat 5. Shameless plug. I have a video on that if you want to watch it. So
it's a very impressive feature, that's for sure. When Mike Dussault there from Electric Voice was mentioning that feature, I think he was expecting me to get excited about some of the other features, but that one was one that's like, ooh, I can do that.
Yeah, there's a few things that I found under the hood that really excited me. I think the DSP, not the least of which there were some presets, vocal low cut, that sort of thing. As I like to say, high pass everything, so. But yeah, it's you'll get to see the 50M in person, Kat. Yes, maybe. Do we have one to show? Oh, good, because they are very hot and in demand. But Evolve 50 and Evolve 30M are in stock and shipping. So one of the very few things we could say that about these days.
So you'll have, and then you said, Kat, you mentioned a couple of ETX models you'll have there.
Yes, we'll have the ETX 18SP, which is, actually my favorite sub. It is heavy, but it is so, it's got such a great round beat bass to it. I love it. And you pair that with the 35Ps. It's the greatest sound in my opinion. I like it. It gives you some really great boom.
Okay, so now everybody knows that Kat likes it loud. That's
the big
you
bass.
Listen to music any other way?
She likes it rock star loud because I think the Evolve series and the ETX series really kind of bracket that in both ways.
Right.
The Evolve being ultra compact and great sounding, the ETX being like B-level production, almost small touring, caliber weapons grade, as I like to call it. I've used ETX on small festival stages and things. And I remember very distinctly, promoter was, I don't know what he was thinking. That can be said about a lot of promoters, by the way. But
Great.
Anyway, this particular one decided to put their A stage and their B stage basically side by side. And the prevailing thought there was that when an A stage act finished, people could watch a B stage act while the next A stage act was set, which of course made life really hard for the audio crews. We could look at each other, and I was on the A stage, and my colleagues were on the B stage, and we were maybe 75 feet apart at front of house, left to right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm looking at this ETX rig on the B stage that was maybe 30 grand. No, it wouldn't even have been that much. It was a few 35Ps on each side, a couple of 35Ps on each side, and 18 SPs on each side. So it would be less than that, maybe less than 20 grand. Anyway, and on the A stage, we've got a $1 million system, and I'm thinking that $20,000 system is really holding up well. It sort of made me wonder what we spent all this money on the A stage for. I mean, really, obviously there's a difference, but was just really impressed, I think, is my point with the what the 35P did, because we thought this is going to be so lopsided, but it really held up well. Anyway, moral of the story, you got Evolve and ETX kind of bracketing the line. What do we got in the middle there, Kat?
EKX.
I love EKX. Probably my favorite value loudspeaker. They're tremendous bang for the buck. In fact, we have a bunch in our own rental department, and every time I take them out, I think, wow, this speaker really only costs what it does, and less at the show, obviously. Tremendous value. 12-inch two-way, my favorite, the EKX 12P. But of course, they have a whole line, right? They've got what EKX boxes are we showing? By the way, viewers, I have no idea. You see this? I don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows.
I'm like the color commentator on a sports game, right? I'm like, I'll just give the spice here.
We've got the 12 and the 15 tops, and then we've got the 15 and the 18 subs.
Nice.
Perfect. Got it
So
all right.
the whole family.
By the way, viewers, I'm going to tell you my personal favorite. 12 top over 18 sub. I love the way that 12 is voiced.
Yep.
That 18-inch bottom really brings it out. That's just a great sounding rig. So if you're there, get a chance to come listen to that. And they're in stock.
Yes.
Some of them. I think subs are out of stock right now.
Hey, we've got them.
Very few. I think just for the show, you got some, right?
Oh, yeah, I've got some for the show.
I was gonna say, I think just for the show, but let me speak to that for a quick minute, since I'm just on my little attention deficit rant here. But it's been a heck of a day. I was out on the road for 5 days, and one of the things that we're able to do for you, friends, is to get your name on the list, get you in the line so that you can get the next available boxes, and you don't have to put any money down for that. So we're trying to find ways to help you so that you don't continuously get pushed to the back of the line waiting for things to arrive, because we know it's going to be a challenging year with chips and all that sort of thing. So good news is you can place those orders, no risk, no obligation, and enjoy the show special, and then just pay when it ships. So
sweet. So we've talked about the high end, the ETX, the EKX. If somebody's like wanting to get into the other two lines, the ZLX or the
ELX
200. Goodness gracious, it's like the ones with the Bluetooth, and you can do the app, and you can do the things. And if somebody's wanting to go into one of the other lines, do you guys also have pricing on those speakers? Show
Of course we will.
Excellent.
yeah,
Definitely.
we won't have them on display though, right? Am I right about that? Okay.
They won't be on display, but we will have pricing available.
And ZLX is a no-brainer. I mean, for a box in the $300 range, you just can't really go wrong. I mean, it's, certainly, it's not the quality of the EKX or the ETX, but I mean, just have some of those around for goodness knows what, right? Let's be honest. Can you ever really have too many speakers? No.
I guess there is that.
You can rewind that and show that to your significant other. Ben said you can't really ever have too many speakers. And if my significant other is here, she's out with some friends right now, but she would tell you that's how I live my life. You can't really ever have too many speakers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's had to live.
Speaking of significant others, I know that many of you don't believe that I have a wife, and I know because I can see myself in the video here. I know what I look like. I know why you're skeptical. I get it. But I want to tell you that my wife will actually be at the show for a day with me. My wife and kids are coming to Chicago, and we're going to do some non-show stuff there. And that's probably mostly what they'll do while I'm working. But there will be at least one day they'll be there. They are not paid actors. They are really my wife and kids. I just want to. I'm really excited to introduce my family to my family.
Yeah.
I feel like kind of one of these guys that's had two families all along, right? And now I get to finally introduce everybody, my industry family, people like obviously your viewers, many of you I'm very, very close to, and I'm really excited for you to meet my personal at home family. So
Excellent. You guys can go to, if you want to get tickets, they still have tickets, or they have the exhibit tickets where you can go in there and kind of check things out if you don't want the education and you can be part of the show. Go to marqueeshow.com. That link will be in the description below. I'll also have the links down below for the NLFXpro.com webpage. You can go there, find a phone number, check out some of the EV stuff. If there's something you have interest in, next week's a great time. Give them a call up in Bemidji there and say, hey, what do you got for pricing on da-da-da-da-da-da? And kind of see what they can do for you.
I think an important thing that you just said there, John, is to reach out to us, because these show specials will not be online.
Yes.
You will not be able to see them on our website. They are intended to be restricted to people attending the show and friends of ours like you that would reach out and say, hey, what are these show specials? So if you just go to our website, I mean, it's going to be as great as it always is, but it's even better if you reach out and say, hook me up. I need the show special. And our coworkers back home will do that.
Wonderful. We're going to wrap things up. Thank you guys for being with us tonight and watching. Again, the show specials are going on next week for the Marquee show in Chicago. Kat, Ben, thank you guys for being with tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.